Hey, welcome back to the Social Services Maven. I'm Jamila. It's been a while. A lot been happening. Well, we are in 2021 now, and as you all might have heard and might have seen, that Biden's initiative is affordable housing. And I spoke about this in another video about case managers housing the homeless. And this is where we are. And so the new roles are going to be residential services coordinator, intensive case manager, case management, and housing navigator. And a housing navigator is an individual that works for an organization, and they're funded typically through HUD or sometimes through the Department of Mental Health, and they're from a city standpoint and also from a federal. And housing navigation helps individuals through the social services process from homeless to housed. You can either find them in a drop-in center or a CES, which is a coordinated entry system. Those CES are what we call a checkpoint, an entry point for people to enter into the system to get housed. There are typically some identifying factors that you have to have: be a family, be a veteran, have a mental health diagnosis, chronically homeless, and youth, which is TAY, transitional age youth, or a senior. So about these six individuals, nothing is a guarantee, but it's a pretty high percentage that you're going to be housed because that demographic receives a significant flow of money from the federal government, as well as the states have those CBDG grants, which are community-based which are community block grants. And then you're housed. So that housing navigator helps them through that process, possibly acquiring an ID, Medi-Cal, a diagnosis, in low income Section 8 public based voucher, or tax credit housing, which is low income housing tax credit. And we'll go into that differently. So then you have your case manager. The case manager kind of steps in sometimes, either the houser or the stabilizer. So when you're housed, especially if you're a long-term homeless individual, it's going to take a couple of months to a year for you to be stabilized in housing, where you are keeping yourself clean, keeping your unit clean, having a strong interaction and relationship with the property management, paying your bills on time if you are in 100% control of your assets. So the case manager helps them with those, what we call ADLs, activities of daily living, which is possibly cleaning, shopping, going out to get medications. And you can get those through the Health and Human Services Department of any local agency, and they're called IHSS, which is In-Home Supportive Services. That case manager helps them with that. It helps them get everything together so that they can successfully age in place or stabilize. And then you have your residential services coordinator. Your RC is a connector. They might begin the relationship as a case manager, but the objective is to flow you to a case manager, the case manager that we just spoke about. So the RSC is funded to bring in programming. So programming has been proven to help with housing retention, specifically in senior demographics. Seniors have a tendency to isolate because of, any undiagnosed or underdiagnosed mental health, and those services weren't acquired. And then you also have your people who are what we call PSH, which are permanent supportive housing, who are dual diagnosed with substance abuse and mental health. Those programmings that the RSC brings in, either through a programming or a public partner or through a partnership, or just something that they may come up for the community. Any idea that they may have around food security, around diabetes prevention, around any type of physical activity if you're working with seniors. If you're working with families, you might see unemployment acquisition. You might see with job readiness, resume writing, after school programs for kids. Food. Food is such a big issue in low income housing. And then you might have around the other benefits that you need to keep you and your children housed. So those are some of the other case managers slash social workers. So that's a social worker. Social work is an industry. Now, even though it's a degree behind it, a master's of social work or a BSW, social work is social work. You're working in social services. You're working in human services. You are working within an industry that is of the social good, the social betterment of an area. So don't get convoluted with some people say, oh, I'm an MSW. More than likely, that MSW is on a clinical track to help diagnose, to help with um, things that go kind of off into the medical field somewhat. But you don't have to be there. I have an MBA. I'm all about business, but I'm a huge advocate of case managers. They're crucial. They're so, so crucial, especially right now, which we're going to develop as we go through, the videos. It's just that it's a huge industry of human services. That's one. Secondly, human services needs to be disrupted. It has not been disrupted in many years. And with tech coming in and with fintech coming in and all this AI and machine learning, we as social workers need to be sure that we are on the cusp of that we are moving along with the trends. You cannot think in the same mentality of the people that you serve and have success. So I hope that Social Services Maven will help you open up your mind to one, enter into the social services and human services industry, but as well as to think creatively in it. How can we expand on it? How can we disrupt it? Come in and shake it up so that this next generation that's coming in after COVID, that's coming in after a year of losing education, are able to be mentally sound and help keep progressing America forward. So thank you. As always, you are so needed. You are so wanted, and I'm here to help you out. Bye-bye.